0102 1990 0203 1991. Okay, for example 0304 1993. Okay, 0405 1994. Next 0506 1995. Okay, we have this data row. Okay, so this is the data we have. So this is the text input where we can insert the data or pass the data to Alteryx workflow manually. So that is called text input. So if we run the data, so this is its preview. You can look at this data, and if you run this also, you can view the data here. Okay, you can view the data here. So run. So I will close this pop-up. Okay, run. So next thing. So we have these names, and this is one way where we can input the data manually. And I'll copy this data. I'll create a Excel file.
Where is the cursor?
It is on another screen. Okay,
Okay.
I will insert. So I'll put the same name, gender, age, date of birth. Okay, date of birth, and I will save this as some information. Book 1, I am saving it as book 1. Okay, so this is one way. So what we have done, so we have entered the data and we have got the data, and or we can say the source of the data is input, text input. So since this is a text input, we are inserting the data manually here. And let's
Nikhil, sorry for interruption. Can you please give me 2 minutes? I'll join back. You carry on.
sure,
Thank you.
take your time. And next, no, Pranusha.
Yeah, Nikki.
Okay, and the second source is input data. So this is one of the tool where we can connect to the data sources out of your Alteryx workflow, where we need to click on the setup connections. We have these many data sources where we can connect with. Okay, these many data sources we can connect with Alteryx. Then since we are using Excel here, I will go to Excel, like Excel. We can connect to Google Drive, we can connect to Hadoop file systems, Oracle, Hive, Outlook, everything. So since we will be, so these are the file types where we can connect with. So I will choose,
Any format files you can.
yeah, these many formats. Like these are all the different formats. So Alteryx Calgary. So we will look into all these file types later. But as of now, our main source of the data will be Excel. Okay. I will click on Excel. I'll go to Alteryx sample. I'll get the data from book 1. Okay. Since it is Microsoft Excel, when I click open, it will give a pop-up to open. So this pop-up is nothing but it will just show up all the sheets which are available in the Excel file. Okay, so something we can do, so we can select this one, or we can select the range also. For example, uh, we have this data. Okay, we have this data. So we have data from A1 cell to D7. Okay, we have data from A1 to D7. We can customize the data collection also here, where so we have this one, right? A1 to D7. So this is where we have the data. Okay, if we connect this, we can get the data. Or if you want to
If
get the
we
data
don't
from,
mention, if we don't mention rows and columns also, it will
yeah,
display all
yeah,
the.
yes. If you don't want to mention the data, just open this and don't select this select a range. Okay, if you want to select a range, you can select. Otherwise, if you select only the sheet name, you can select here. Okay, everything. So if you select a range, you can just give a range from what range you want to select the data. Or if you don't select this, you can just select the you can just select the sheet name. So the data, whatever data is there in the sheet, that will be populated here. Okay, so this is the just data preview. How does the data look like in the particular sheet? So this limit is this the limit in the preview section is only until 100 rows. Okay, 100 rows. Here you can see the data until 100 rows. So once you run the data here, you can view the data here, and also you can view the data in the results window here. Okay,
Then why we
Hmm?
are getting here red error, right? In the
Red.
third part.
So it's not an error. Okay, it's not an error. So this means it has an extra space here.
Yeah.
Name. After name, can you see this? After name, so there is a space. So this red mark indicates the space.
Okay.
Okay, an extra space. Don't worry about this. You will come to know about all these things later on. Okay. So this is one of the secondary source. Okay, where we can input the data. Okay, and the third source is directory. Okay, directory. The directory is where you can pass the directory path. Path means this folder path. Uh, Path is
No
nothing
need to
but
select the file. We can give directly
ah,
path.
so yeah, so this is the input data. This will give you the ability to select a particular file. Okay, this is input data, this tool. And the directory tool, this will give you the ability to select multiple files within a directory. So what you can do here, you can select a simple one directory. Okay, you need to select a directory. So whatever the files are there in the directory, those are all get selected. Okay, so let me run this again. Okay, now you can see. So these are all the files we have. Okay, here these many so we have only one file on the Alteryx sample directory. Okay, so this is where we can get the data. So I mean, so this directory will just give you the results. I mean the items in a directory and its path, when it is updated, what is its name, all the metadata can be displayed here using the directory tool. So if you want to get the data from directory here. Okay, so using this tool, we just selected a simple file path and we got the data which is there in the particular file. And if you want to get the data from this file, what we can do is there is a tool called dynamic select. Dynamic select. Okay, sorry, dynamic rename, or else we can use dynamic input. Sorry. So here, so this is the dynamic input. What you can do here, you can just edit this instead of, I mean, instead of putting everything, you can just type temp. Okay, here percentile temp percentile. Okay, so this is it needs some different kind of configuration. We will discuss it later, but for I'm just reading this as a Microsoft Excel. Okay, okay. Now I'll hit OK. Now read this full path. I need to change entire file path. Okay. So if I run this, you can see the data here again. Okay. So yeah, this is one of the error. So we will talk about we will talk about the we will talk about the errors
After
later.
uh,
Mhm.
after I mean after using we have to compulsory connect dynamic input with the directory to get to this
Yes,
data.
yes, yes. So if you are connecting, so there are many other types where we can use macros as well. Macros is kind of concept where it will just simplify the process. Okay, we need to create macros. That is a different approach. We will talk about it later, but we are
In
just
directory only we can see the path name and where it is located. That's it only.
so
Not
so
see the
this is
data.
simple. One more thing. Okay, to make it simple, this is a directory. Okay, this is the Alteryx sample, right? How many files are
Yeah.
there here? So in this directory, there is one file. Okay, there is one file. What is the, so this is one of the thing type and the size, right? You can see these attributes in here as well with this. Okay, file name, a creation date, last access time, last write date. Okay, size 9168, that is 9 KB. Okay, so these are all the different kind of attribute where we cannot display here. Okay, so if you want to display here, you can keep expanding this. Okay, if you expand all these things, you will be able to see all these attributes like this. So but we really don't require all these attributes as of now. Okay, so this is one more this is the one more approach where we can get the data from the directory. Okay, so this is the, okay, simple. Let's repeat it again. So this is a text input where we can insert the data manually. Okay, and this is the second type of input where we can make a connection to any external file or external database or any kind of these many data sources, or we can connect to a server, Alteryx gallery. So these are all the input data. That means these are all the connections. Okay, these are all the file types, these are the servers, and these are the different kind of data sources where we use the database connections to connect here. That's it. Once it is done, so these are all the main three kinds of input data, and we have date time now. What does it do? Okay, date time now, if you use this tool, it will just print the current time. Okay, so this tool just print the current time, date time now. Okay, and we have browse tool. Okay, we already discussed about browse tool yesterday. Okay, so browse tool just it will the display the results of a particular results at a particular point, or we can use here in the browse tool, we can view all the results. Okay, and the profile as well. So profile means the what are the column names, how many columns are there. Field means field is column, record is a row. So record means it is a row, field means it is a column. So the 629 bytes, so it is the size of the data. Okay, these are the profile. So name is a column, gender is a column, it's a text data type, string data type, age is a column, it is a numeric data type, date of birth is a column. Currently it is in text type, but if you are doing some operation on the date column, so which is a date type, we would need to change the format of the date to the format which is which is understood by the Alteryx. So that is in YYYYMMDD format. Okay. So these are all the some input files. Okay. Is it clear until now? So these are all the input types. Sorry, input connections. Input types where we can make some connections to the data. Is it understood till now? Map input is a map.
Yes.
Okay. Map input where you can let it get let it load. So it will connect to the internet. Okay. Now something is it will take some time to load. Discuss it about let's discuss about it later. Then okay. So this is the input thing. Okay. Input. Okay. If we keep this browse tools aside, so browse tool is something where you can check the result of a workflow. Okay. And the output is this is the input text input, the normal input data connection, and this is a directory input, and it's a datetime input. So this is the output where we can write the data to a source, I mean to a destination. Okay. So if you want to write a data like if you so my uh let's change this, my output from text input. Okay, my output from text input, so I want to write it in a .csv format. Okay, if you hit, hit run, so this tool get the data and this tool will write the data to a file. Okay, this one. So this is my data. So I got the data here. I got the data here, manually text, manual input, and I'm writing this to a CSV. Otherwise, sample one dot CSV. Okay. So for this output, dot CSV config. So for dot CSV file, we would. So these are only some options where we can customize the data. Okay. So if you want to, so for CSV is it's a comma separated values, right? So if you the data, so whenever you open the data, so this is a CSV file, open folder. Okay, this is my output file. So since it is a CSV comma separated values file, I will open this with a open with notepad. If I open this with a notepad, see my data is separated with the comma. Okay, did you get my point? That CSV means the data will be there using a comma separated by the comma. In each row, each field is separated with the comma. Nikhil Kumar, comma, M, comma, 30, comma, this. On the next line, name 2, comma, F, comma, 31, comma, this much. Okay, this is the comma separated value, and that means CSV. Okay, so delimiters. So comma is a delimiter. So if you want to change this delimiter to whatever, this one. Okay, if you write this, that will be, see, now the what is the separator? The symbol. Okay, and then if you want to change to any, so since it is a CSV, I will put it as a comma, and these are all the just code page. These are all the code UTF-8. So this is it is just an encoding. Line encoding side Windows. It is a if you write it as a Unix, Unix, you will still get the data. So this is how the file will be generated in Unix file system. And let's keep it as Windows. Then so this is about the CSV. Okay. Then I want to write the same data to not CSV but Excel. The extension for Excel file is XLSX. Okay. Then I'll just hit tab here. Then see. So now the options got changed. So Excel file supports multiple sheets in a file. That's why we will be able to select a sheet over here if you want to write a data to specific sheet. So for example, so we are just writing sample.xlsx, and we don't have this file in the directory, and output options here we are selecting this as a create new sheet. Okay, so this operation will just, if we hit run, we got an error here. Why means we have to enter a
Sheet.
sheet name here. The sheet name means, so we have to enter three vertical lines, for example, and we have to enter sheet one. I want to enter sheet one, or else my first sheet. This is how we will need to specify the sheet names using the .xlsx file, and I am just file format will be a Microsoft Excel, and I'm going to create a new sheet in the Excel file here. Then I will hit run. See, I got the output. So this is my Excel file, and my sheet name is my first sheet here, this part. So if you change this sheet, sheet one, okay, run. I will be able to still run the workflow. See, I got my first sheet. It is already there, and I have got the one more sheet, which is the sheet one. Okay, so at the same time, if I try to run the workflow again, I'll get the error. Okay, why? Because the option is here, create a new sheet, right? So where the error says the sheet one already exists in the particular sample one.xlsx file. Select a new sheet or file output, or select a overwrite output, whatever. So what I can do here is, instead of create new sheet, I can use overwrite file. Okay, if I choose this option, I won't get the error. I will be still able to write the data to output. So since I selected overwrite option, my so the other sheet, my first sheet, that sheet also got deleted. So because the sheet is complete, this Excel file is completely got deleted, and it has created a new file with the sheet one sheet. here. Then I can write override sheet till I can get the output. So append to the existing sheet. So what this can do, if I click run and let's check the output. See, append means adding the data, just like a in Power BI. In Power BI append, we can add the data at the end of the existing data. So I have already did. So I have 13 rows of the data as of now. If I run the workflow again, it will append the data on the 14th row. This one. So if I still run the data, it will keep appending the data. Okay. So if I use this option override sheet or range, so the file will be there, but the data gets deleted and it adds a new data. So this is the new data. So if I use override file, so the file gets completely deleted from the folder and it will create a new file instead of the old file. So create a new sheet. This means, so what we can understand over here is create a new sheet. So if you are creating a new Excel file, for the at the first instance, we can select the create new sheet, and after that you can use these three options, especially only two options. Otherwise, if you want to append the data for the, I mean, if you have a use case where you can keep appending the data every time, you can this option. Or else if you are just if there is a file and if you want to just delete the data in the existing file and you want to add a new data, you can use these two options. So this is the output tool. So this is the output tool. So not only with the only Excel, we can just write the data to these many data types. Like, so if you want to save this data as a YXDB is nothing but Alteryx database, Alteryx supported database. So if you want to run the data, it will still, but the extension will be like sample1.yxdb. So this is the uh, Alteryx database. This window gets open with the Alteryx itself. So this is the Alteryx database, and we have one more AVRO. So let's a. So we have discussed about YXDB. We have discussed about .csv, and let's write the data to JSON. We'll still get the data JSON and hit run. We'll still get the data. So this will get opened. So we can open the. I'll open with Notepad. So this is how the JSON data will be. So JSON data is mainly used in the development, like web development kind of thing, or you can write the data to any file format which is included here, or else you can write the data to these many sources. Okay, mainly, so you will get the use cases mainly to write the data to a Tableau data extract like this TDE, or else you can just change this to TDE and you can run the workflow. You still get the data. It's running. We got the data. So we don't have the Tableau in my system, so that we can't open this file as of now. But we will be still able to open this data with Notepad. So this is the data where it is understandable by the Tableau format. Tableau. And if you want to write the data to any other, like ACCDB. So this is Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is nothing but ACCDB. Please select a table. Okay, I will create one uh, access. So this is my Microsoft Access. I'll create a blank database. Database one create. and this is my table one. Okay, I will save as save file save as Microsoft database save as yes Alteryx sample database one. I'll save this. Create a table. Save. Save. Okay, this is my table. So if I want to write this is my Microsoft Access database. If I want to write the data here also, I can do Microsoft Access database one. Save. Yes. Yes. Then hit run. Unable to open. Okay, I think it already exists. I will change this table to okay. Instead of table one, I will change this to override. Overwrite. Right. See, I will still be able to open the data. See, this is my data. So this is how we can write the data. So far, these are the input files. This is the output. Okay, this is the input and this is the output. Same, we can use the output data or else I will delete this. I'll just copy, paste, paste, paste. I'll just write like this, write like this. I'll put like this. Okay. Instead of I already have this table one. I'll just change this to Excel sample dot XLSX SST. I call it as SST1. Okay. I'll just create a new sheet. Sheet one. I'll delete this. Control V. This is sheet two. Create a new sheet. Every time hit 3. Create a new sheet. Copy. Paste. This. Here it is sheet 4. Okay. So I'm writing the data to all the Excel files. Right. What is this? Unable to write, can't open, being used by another process. Okay, so this is a common error. Okay, what we can do, we can use block until done, block until done tool. So this is one of the tool. This one, what does it do? So it will just block a process once being executed by another process. So this is one of the process what I'm doing. So I'm writing the data from these two sources. Okay, so if I use this tool in between, so it will just uh, it will just make a queue of the different processes. So once a process is completed, then it will allow to execute the second process. So it will continue one by one, one by one, one by one. It will just execute the process one by one. Okay, as of now we don't require this. I'll just let's change the file here. Sample one, sample two. Run. I will change this. Overwrite. Overwrite. Okay. What is this? Unable to write the process. Oh my god. Okay, let me close the Excel process. Sample 4. Sample 5. sample 6 run. See, I got the different kinds of files. Open folder. Here are my samples. See, these are my sample files. Sample 2, sample 4, every. So this is the one table I write the data, wrote the data. So this is one of the file done. So this is the basic things in input and output. How we can get the input. So this is the text input where we can enter the data manually. This is the input data where we can make a connection to the specific file on the desktop or on the server or in the any database. Okay, this is the directory input where we can pass the a path of a particular folder or directory and we can get the data from that particular directory, followed by a dynamic input tool where it can just dynamically pass the data from each and row. And this is the datetime input. So these are the basic input files and this is the basic output file where we can write the data to a specific Excel file or to a specific database. So this is one of the thing. So yeah, if we write the data to any Excel file using the output data tool, it will just create a just normal Excel file without any formats like this. So this contains there is no format of for this data like any background colors. So like any background colors, any font size, font. I cannot customize this data. So whatever the default settings are there, so this will just create a simple Excel file. If you want to create a Excel file with the formatting, okay, if you want to create a Excel file with the formatting, you can use reporting tools. These many reporting tools. So what does reporting tool do? So what I can do here, I can create a table of this data. So we have a this data set here. Okay, this is my data set here. I want to create a table out of it. So table means I want to customize the formatting in the data for the data. So there are some settings where we can customize this. So these are the default settings. Then we can use after table. We can use render tool also. So this table tool just this will be helpful to customize the formatting, and this render tool will this tool allow us to write the data to different formats like this: temporary HTML format, temporary composer file, temporary PDF document, temporary RTF, temporary Word, temporary Excel, and we can give the custom name. That means o name sample 7.xlsx. Let's see what happens. So let us disable this first of all. Delete. Let us see. So now this table, see, this is the formatting. So this is the Alteryx. This is the default Alteryx format settings where we can customize this in the table. Just go to the table. So data. So I want my data in white color. Sorry, background. So this is the alternate color. Alternate color is, oops. So this is the alternate color. So one is white color, the other one is the gray color. The next one is white, the alternate is gray. So I want to change this alternate to complete to white. Choose this default settings. You can, these are all the default settings. You can customize this. row per group. So let's we don't get into this right now. And header I will change this to Tahoma. I'll put this 20. Text color is background is I'll change this to um, blue color. Text is into white color. Okay. Okay. Now I will run. Oh, to process cannot. We have to close this file. Then run. Tick. See. This is how we get the data if we change the settings in the table. And you can customize the set formatting for each column. So these are all the column names. These are the column names. So if you select, so if this radio box is selected, it will be this records. This column will be included in the output. Okay, if you don't select this will not be there in the output. For example, I disable this and I will run. What happens? There will be no name column, just gender and age and the date of birth. Okay, if I select, if I delete everything, run, there will be only two, age and date of birth. So you can customize each column also, like create. So these are all the specific rules where you want to create, like, always data name for headers. I want to put a background color here. Instead of white, I'll go with this color. This. Okay. I'll put text color as black for header only. Then close. This is one of the rule I created here, and I'll create a new rule when row name equals to name equal to Nikhil Kumar. I'll change this background to I'll put the background as brown. Okay, I'll change the text color to white. Okay, close. Then I will run. See, my name is Nikhil. My background is this one maroon, and the text color is white. So I included 4 columns. This is how we can customize. We can customize the formatting in an Excel file using the table and the table followed by the render tool. And we have one more option, that is layout. So how you want to print the data in an Excel file, how you want to make the layout. So for example, I'll do one thing. Formula. So okay, let's run this one. Okay, so this is my data as of now. So here the sheet name is sheet 1, but I want to customize the sheet name. What we can do, we have to insert a formula. Yeah, we will practice this later, but sheet name, sheet name, uh, my second my second sheet, my second sheet. Okay, I'll keep this as it is. I don't want to include the sheet name. Okay, then go to here, each group of records. Yeah, I think I will need to include the sheet name here. Automatic here. No, I can't. Sorry. Let's put this formula here. Okay. So this is the sheet name. Now each individual sheet name, instead of horizontal I will select section breaks, and section name is my sheet name. Then I'll write the data. What happens now? So this is the output, my second sheet. This is how we will be using the table tool, followed by layout, followed by the render, at the end render. So at the end, the starting point will be input and the ending point will be output. So in between, so starting point is input, ending point is output. So this is the output, this is the input, this is the input, and this is the output. In between, between this input and output part, we can do these many operations. Join, we can do preparation, we can use preparation tools, we can use join tools, we can use parse, we can use transform. In DB, this is related to the databases. We can use reporting, like if you want to send an email using Alteryx, you can send an email. If you want to create an image of your data, you can create an image. If you want to create some insights out of it, you can do this. Hello. Okay, if you want to
And
lay out. Mhm. Yeah, any doubts till now? What we have discussed till now. So input and the output. Okay. This is related to only the Excel files, so we can do a lot of things using the we can do a lot more things on the databases side as well. So once I'll set up some database connections locally on my machine, then we'll continue to work on the databases as well. Then so this is the input and output. So in between, let's go with the preparation tools. What we can do with the preparation tools? Okay, let's go one by one. Okay, so first thing is, the first tool is auto field. So what I can do, I can click on this, I can click on the tool, then double click on the any tool. Okay, it will get inserted on the connection. Okay, otherwise I'll press Ctrl Z, or else I'll just drag and drop on the. So when you hover on the connection line, it will get turned into blue color. Then I can just drop it here. That's it. Okay, it will get inserted on the connection line. Okay. Okay, so what does this auto field do? Auto field, so for example, we have this data. Okay, we have this data. So auto field automatically converts a particular field or column's data type based on its data. Okay, so for example, name is a field, or name is, it is a column. So this column contains letters as well as numbers in the data. Like Nikhil Kumar, it is a complete text, and on the second line we have name followed by 2. So this is a number 2. Based on this combination of the data, it will convert the data type of a column. Okay, I'll insert this I'll insert this tool and run. See, now where we can check the format is, then the easy way to select the format type of a, or a format of a column is, either you can use browse here, or else you can just click on this, double click on the data. So this is the record one, field age. So this is a type of integer 32, int 32. This is a string, this is a string, this is a string. Okay, string. It is a string. It is also a string. So this column contains only the numbers. That's why it is converted to int 32. And this contains the slashes, backslashes. That's why it is still in the string. Okay, this is what autofill can do. I'll click this. Now this is in double. This is in date format. This is gender. It is in v string. Name v string. Let's use the autofill here. Run. What it can do, since it is already in date format, it is in date format. Since it is double, it is double is also in integer or numeric format. It is a string. It is also a string. Since okay, so why in this data, so this is a manual data, and we have this data. This is Excel file. We are getting the data from Excel file. So if you look at this data, this format is in string. Okay, v string. But when it comes to here, the data is in date format. Do you know why? For example, so if you look at this date, if you observe this column where we have inserted the data manually, here the data is in string format here. But when it comes to here, the data is in date format like yyyy/mm/dd. So this is Alteryx default date format. So why the data is in here is in date format, but here it is in string format. Why? Why?
అది టెక్స్ట్ ఇన్పుట్ డేటా కదా.
Uh, I think so. This is the text input. Okay. So since it is a text input, but when it comes to ఇది కూడా text కదా. So ఇక్కడ Excel ఏమవుతుందంటే, what does an Excel do? Excel automatically changes its data. It will interpret the data. So if you are entering a data in date, it will automatically convert the data into date format. If you enter some numbers, it will automatically convert the data into numbers like that. So that's why it is easy. So this is where the our work is done. So automatically the data is converted to date format. So here the data is in string format. We know that this is dd mmyy. But what if we want to change the data here to this format? What we can do? Here we can use a formula tool. Okay. Okay. This is, let's discuss it about later. So this is autofilled. So autofilled means just if you click on the if you click on the if you click a single click on any tool like this, it will just give you the overview of the particular tool like this, like this, like this, and you can open an example how this tool can be used. Okay, you can do like this, like this. Okay, but if you double click on this, it will get inserted here like this. Single click, you can see the overview of a tool, and you can open an example of this particular tool. Okay, this is what we can do. Next, data cleansing. So data cleansing is, it performs a basic data cleansing operation such as replacing null values, removing punctuations, and modifying the capitalization. Okay, what it can do, if we insert this data, if remove null rows, if there are any null rows like here, uh, insert row, insert row, insert row, insert row. Okay, run. Okay, so we have null rows here. Null rows. This is a null row. This row is completely null. That's why it is a null row. If we choose this remove nulls, okay, here there are null rows. The output, there are no null rows. So it automatically removes the null rows from the data. Leading, trailing, white spaces. So if there are any white spaces like Nikhil Kumar, uh, space, 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 like this, to space, 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 like this. So if you look at this data, let's run. If you look at this, so this name contains spaces until here, these many spaces. Okay, this option will remove these unwanted spaces. Like, what did I do? What did I do? Like this. See, remove, remove, removed. See, it removed the unwanted spaces. It will remove the unwanted spaces. No spaces now. No extra spaces. So before this, we have this red marks, like, errors. This is not an error. It's a kind of highlight. This cell has trailing spaces. That means unwanted spaces. It got removed. The errors, I mean, these got removed here. Okay, this is the use of the data cleansing tool. What we can do here, we can use the select field to cleanse. We can choose everything. We can replace the blanks. So if it is a string and if it is a blank, um, it will replace with blank. So if it is a null, so if you choose if you choose this, and if you choose this, so let's see what happens. See, now previously it was null, now it is converted to blank. These are the blank, and we have selected replace with 0 numeric. So since it is a numeric field and it was null, it is replaced with 0. And if I don't select this, click, what happens? See, data will be as it is. I can use this. We don't so based on the scenario, based on our use case, based on our requirement, we can use we can use all these options. Okay, like this. See, now the data is in very clean. Now, okay, is it are you okay with this data cleansing tool? Did you understand about it?
Can you repeat one?
Okay, డేటా క్లీన్జింగ్ టూల్ ఇది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే, సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే, నల్ వాల్యూ ఇప్పుడు ఇన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఈడ. సో ఇఫ్ దిస్ డేటా కంటెంట్స్ నల్స్, సో ఇందులో నల్స్ ఉంటే నల్స్ తీసేస్తుంది. ఇది అన్వాంటెడ్, మనకి వి డోంట్ రిక్వైర్ దిస్ రోస్, ఇట్ విల్ రిమూవ్ ది నల్ రోస్. ఇఫ్ దేర్ ఆర్ నల్ కాలమ్స్ లైక్ న్యూ నల్ కాలమ్, okay, this is a null column, it will remove this null column. Like, see, now we have a null column, it will remove this null column. Okay, like this. So all white spaces, if you select this, so whatever the spaces are there here in the data, these will get removed like this. So look at the data here. Now look at the data. So no spaces in the data. Okay, so modify case. So uppercase, modify case ante. So if you select, it will just it will change the data to lowercase, uppercase, or title case. Title case means camel case. Like, first letter will be in the capital letter, and the remaining letters will be in the small letters. Like this. So if you change it to uppercase, you can run and look at the data. It got converted into uppercase. If you select it completely lowercase and run, it converts the data completely into lowercase. And if you select title case, it converts the data into first letter into the capital, and the remaining letters will be into small letters. This is how it will work. And remove nulls, remove columns, we done. Okay, done. Is it okay now? Did you understand? Okay. Next, formula. 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 What is the use of formula tool? Check. Create or update columns using one or more expressions to perform a broad variety of calculations and or operations. For example, uh, now we have this age, right? So 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, I want to um, age classification. So I want to classify this age like based on this age column. నేను ఏం చెప్తున్నా అంటే ఈ ఏజ్ ని క్లాసిఫై చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా. క్లాసిఫై ఎట్లా అంటే 30. If it is less than or equal to 30, then they are young people. Okay, if it is more than 30, they are aged people. Okay, ఇట్లా నేను క్లాసిఫై చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా ఏజ్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్. సో నేనేం చెప్తున్నా అంటే ఐ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ ఏ న్యూ కాలమ్. The column name is age classification. Okay, ఇది ఏంటంటే నేను ఉత్త స్ట్రింగ్ పెడతా ఎందుకంటే నేను నేను ఇది ఏం చెప్తుంటే నేను లెటర్స్ ప్రింట్ చేస్తున్నా. ఏజ్ ఏజ్డ్ ఏజ్డ్ పర్సన్ లేకపోతే యంగ్ అడల్ట్ ఇట్లా పెట్టాలనుకుంటున్నా. ఓకే, యంగ్ అడల్ట్ ఇట్లా పెట్టాలనుకుంటున్నాను. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు గెట్ దిస్, సో ఐ కెన్ రైట్ అన్ ఇఫ్ కండిషన్. ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ఇఫ్, సో ఇది ఏమవుతుందంటే ఫార్ములాలా, సో ఇఫ్ యూ టైప్ ఇఫ్, so it will automatically give the suggestion how we can write the formula, like conditions, double if. So I will go with if condition then true. Okay, ఇది condition. So first is true thing, the second one else is false. So if condition, if age, I will print this age, sorry, age, just type the starting of the column name, or you can just clear press the down arrow and then press the tab. You will get less age is less than or equal to 30. Already age person less greater than 30, then aged person. Okay, aged person, else young adult. Okay, ఇట్లా రాసి ఎండ్ ఇఫ్ రాయాలి. ఇది ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్ కండిషన్, ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ది సింటాక్స్ ఇది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ది సింటాక్స్ ఫర్ ది ఇఫ్ కండిషన్. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ comments, how we can write comments, star. So this is the comments, just so comments, this is just a comment, it can't do, it doesn't have any impact on the calculations. So this is how we can write. Otherwise if boolean. So my condition boolean means if it is condition, if it is true or false, like age is greater than 30. If it is true, aged person, aged person, else young adult. Okay, so I created a new column age classification and I wrote a if condition. Either we can write if like this or like this. Okay, both will give the same result. And then I'll run the workflow. So what happened? So this was my data here previously, and I added a new column like this. So based on my 30, if it is less than or equal to, less than ante, if it is less than 30 కంటే తక్కువ లేకపోతే exact 30 ఉంటే young adult, else it's a aged person. This is how we can create column, we can create any kind of operations, or we can do some calculations on top of it. Then in the same formula you can create n number of columns like this, like this, like this, Okay, I will delete this as of now. Okay, so now we have this data now. I will change this data type to, so this is in now string. Okay, now I created a column which is of string format, but I will create one more column, dob. I'll call it as dob, and I'll change this format to date 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 format. Okay, what I can do, date time parse string. మనమే string అంటే ఇది string ఉండే, ఈ string అంటే we have to pass this column here. What we can do, we have to open this date of birth, and so parse, since this is one of the date time functions, and so this is the column we want to parse it here, and the column is in, so ddmmyyyy, right? What we can do, we can do percentile d. Okay, and we have a slash, then percentile m, percentile y. I can put a comma here. Uh, Date time format. Let's use this. Oops. Percentile d. No. Date time parse. String is date of birth. I will pass this percentile d. See, I got the 3 on the first one, 3d. This is the 3 date, and I have slash percentile b, small b, percentile m. See, I got 4 here. Then percentile y.
Yeah.
See, I got 1993 for 3. This is I can do. See, now this is 3 for 1993. This is in the same format. If you look at this data, for person, year, person, 1993 43, 1993 43. Okay, now we have changed this date format which is in string to the date which is in date format already, where you can check the data type is here. This is the date format. This is in a string. This is in a string. Okay, this is what we can do using the formula. We can create new columns, or we can update existing column, like you can select how to update existing column. Age, we can use the same formula here. Instead of creating a new column here, I'll update the same column. Okay, so now it is in int 32. It is in int 32. It can't print the strings. That's why it is a very bad idea. Let's run. You keep it as it is. No, we got it. So now we have manaki we have two dates, like it is the same date, it is also the same date, but it is in the date format, but and it is in the text format, and we don't require this column. Okay, we don't require this column. How do we delete this column in the data? How do we delete this column in the data? What we can do is we can use select tool. This one, the select tool, select or deselect, reorder and rename fields, change the field types or size, and assign a description. This These things we can do using the select tool. What we can do is we can just drop a select tool on the connection, or just click on this and double click on this. Yeah, you'll get a tool here. Okay, select is here. You can rename the field. Instead of name, I want to rename this as person name. Okay, instead of the gender, I will put it as gen. I will, instead of age, I'll put this as person age. Instead of gender, person gender. I don't want this date of birth. So we have already DOB, we have DOB, we have date of birth, but this field is in string. We don't require this. What I can do, I'll just deselect it and I'll copy this and I rename this thing to here. That's it. We can do. See. So here we had this column as an output. We don't have that particular column. Okay, and we have a date of birth name here and we are renaming this date of birth to this column. This is what we can do here. Okay, this is what we can do using the select tool. Got it? Got it?
If we want to remove it, we need not to select it, right?
Yeah, if you don't want to remove, just keep it as it is, and just remove these renames and run. It will be still there like this. And if you want to change the order, so now we have person name, person gender, person age, date of birth like this. No, if we have this option like select all, if you deselect all, everything will be deselected. If you sort field names like sort A to Z, original field name ascending like this, age A mala D G like this. So sort on the new field name ascending like this, age, then P like this. Run. So we got this, like we got the data like this. So this is the clear renames. Everything is removed. Add a suffix to field names like suffix. Instead of we have this, no, we can add this person here. Space. Okay. Right. So run. What we got? Suffix what? Okay, suffix comes at the end. So select everything like this. Um, add a prefix. Instead of suffix, I will add person. Okay, done. So we got the person here. Person, and remove this. This is what we can do using select tool. So these are all the main things. And this is what next tool is. Okay, ఇది అర్థమైందా?
ఇక్కడ పర్సన్ అని పెట్టినావు కదా, మరి ఇక్కడ ఈ కింద టేబుల్ లో అట్లా రాలేదు కదా ప్రిఫిక్స్ లో.
ఈడ ఇల్లనా? ఇల్ల పెట్టాలంటే ఈడ పెట్టాలి. సో సెలెక్ట్ లైక్ దిస్. Select, add a prefix, add a person, space, done. మనకి ఏడే కావాలంటే ఆడ టూల్ వేసుకోవాలి, పెట్టాలి అంతే. ఓకే, ఇట్లా ఇది రీనేమ్. ఇక్కడ పర్సన్ ఇది అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుంది. పర్సన్ అయి అచ్చా, మనం ఇవన్నీ సెలెక్ట్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ రిమూవ్ దిస్, సెలెక్ట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, add, sorry, select everything, add prefix, person. ఓకే, రన్ వచ్చేసిందా పర్సన్. నౌ నెక్స్ట్ ఫిల్టర్. ఫిల్టర్ అంటే filter the data, just like మన excel la how we select filter, in the same way we can select filters. Okay, like this, just click on a previous tool, or you can double click, or you can just drag it. Okay, person idi. So date of birth is equals to, if it is in a date format, we will be able to. So okay, I will go with DOB, person DOB, where we can get the calendar like this. We will be able to um, dynamic is DOB. Okay, let's go by, we can use this less than today. Okay, less than today. So everybody is everybody's date of birth is less than today. Okay, like this we can, if you want to um, select only my name. Okay, otherwise if you want to select only the records where person is there, అంటే person అనే string ఉన్నది, person name contains person. Okay, we'll get only those records. సో కంటైన్స్ person 1, person 2, person 3, వీటిలో పర్సన్ లేదు, అందుకే మనకి ఇక్కడ పర్సన్ అని వచ్చింది. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి కావాల్సి ఇంట్ ఉంటే ఇంట్ టైప్ వస్తుంది ఫిల్టర్స్. సపోజ్ స్ట్రింగ్ ఉందనుకో స్ట్రింగ్ రిలేటెడ్ ఇవన్నీ ఆప్షన్స్ వస్తాయి. డేట్ ఉందనుకో డేట్ రిలేటెడ్ ఇవన్నీ ఆప్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇట్లా రేంజ్ పెట్టినాం అనుకో టూ బిట్వీన్ ఇట్లా పెట్టవచ్చు. సో 19 తర్వాత పెడదాంలే, పెద్ద కథ ఇప్పుడు. ఏజ్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ కంటైన్స్ యంగ్. ఓకే, యంగ్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళంతా ఇటుకు వస్తారు. యంగ్ వీళ్ళంతా ముసలోళ్ళు అన్నమాట. సో ఇట్లా, అండ్ ఇఫ్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ యంగ్ అడల్ట్ ఇట్లా పెట్టినాం అనుకో ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డేటా వస్తుంది. సో విల్ గెట్ ది ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డేటా లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, విచ్ డస్ నాట్ కంటైన్ కంటైన్స్ డస్ నాట్ కంటైన్ యంగ్ అడల్ట్. ఈడనేమో లేని వాళ్ళు వస్తుంది ట్రూ దగ్గర, ఫాల్స్ దగ్గరనేమో ఇది వస్తుంది. ఇట్లా ఇవన్నీ వీ కెన్ డూ దీస్ మెనీ ఆపరేషన్స్ యూజింగ్ ఫిల్టర్. ఓకే, ఇది ఎందుకు వస్తలేదంటే ఇవన్నీ డైనమిక్ సెలెక్ట్ చూసుకోవాలి, ఇవన్నీ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఇక్కడ రిపోర్ట్ వస్తుంది. డైనమిక్ ఇవన్నీ ఒక సపోజ్ ఇట్లా ఎందుకు ఎర్రర్, వై వి గెట్ దీస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఈజ్, సో వెన్ when when there is a data and this particular, so which is already included in the particular tool or in a particular data stream, and then if that particular data is missing from the data stream, you will get an error or you will get a warning like let's select everything. Now you will get a warning like, see,
You
the
must
name was
select
missing, will be ignored, this kind of warnings. You don't need to worry about these things. Okay, what we have discussed till now, input and the output, then auto field. Auto field is, it will automatically convert the data type of a column based on the data which is there in the particular column. Okay, then
data cleanse.
Data cleansing where we can perform these kind of operations like removing null rows or null columns, replace the nulls with blanks if it is a string, replace the nulls with numeric field, replace the nulls with 0 if it is a numeric field. Okay, you can remove white spaces, you can remove letters, remove unwanted carry. If there are any extra numbers or extra letters, you can remove any punctuations, you can modify you can change the lower data to the uppercase, lowercase, or the title case. And then formula, using formula we can create new columns or update the existing one. We can, yeah, here the whatever the sum based on the conditions, we can write if conditions, we can write. So these are all the functions which are there. These many operations we can do, like conditional. In the conditional we have if condition, if switch. We have conversion, like bin to char to int. Char means characters to integer. So these many operations we can do using conversion. Datetime functions like datetime add, datetime day. We will discuss it about later. File, file add path, file exists. These are the simple functions. File exists. If you pass a path of exist particular file, it will return true or false. If the file exists on a particular path, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return path. Sorry, false. Finance functions, and these are the math like absolute value, sine, cos, tan 2, average, seal, cos, exponential, floor, factorial, logarithm, medians, mod, power to the random, random integer, round. It will just round up the sign values, tan. Oh my god, these are many things. Bitwise, min and max, minimum value, maximum value in the column. Operators like boolean, not, and are. I think you have heard about this boolean and boolean are. And spatial means this is about the map. Specialized, nulls, range, median. Yeah, we will discuss it about later. String means contains. Just now we have discussed about contains. Count words. If you pass like my, if you pass my name is Nikhil, my space name space Nikhil space Kumar, like this, it will just count the words within a sentence. Ends with so if you pass like my ends with of my name is Nikhil Kumar, ends with Kumar, it will return true, like that. Now find string, it will give the, so for example in my name is Nikhil Kumar, if you want to find the n, my in the Nikhil Kumar in position, it will give you the position of the character. Get word, so if for example my name is something, right? So if you write like get word of my name is something of something, it will give the position of the particular word. um, Left, right, we can do all these things like regular expressions we can do. Then test is empty, if the column is empty, if the column is integer, if the column is null, if the column is number, if the column is a special object, if it is a string, we can do these many uh, operations. Test if field is a string, if it is a special object, if it is a number, if it is a null, if it is an integer that can, if it is contains a value that can convert to an integer, if it is empty, if it is null or equal to null, or I mean without any spaces or something. So these many functions. So these are all the default Alteryx default functions. um, you can get the new columns. These are the existing columns. These are the new columns. These are all the constants. So ing.temp file path. So ing.temp file path means it will just print the this particular path like this. So this workflow is getting saved in this path. If you use ingen dot version, this is the Alteryx version. If you want to use workflow directory, this is my directory. So you can these are all the recent expressions. Okay, these are the recent expressions. And so you are writing this expression. So you have written this expression. If you want to save this, you can save it. My age condition, like this. You can save this like this. Okay. here my age conditions. If you click that, you'll get the same condition. You can save it. So this is about the input, autofield, data cleansing, formula, and select tool. In the select tool, we can rename the tool. We can add description like this is person's age classy. So you can add this kind of description. This is the size, this is the data type, this is in string, it is the field name, it is in the type string type, it is the size of 64. I have renamed it to this. You can this, and this is a filter. You can use basic filter as well as the custom filter like this. So we can use formulas here, just like in formula we can use these conditions like saved expressions, my age. So this is how you can do. You can use basic and custom. Then we have discussed about table. Get the data from table. I will remove this as of now. Get the data from connect a source to the table. Get the data here. Then if you want to, if you directly, if you want to render this, render directly here, you will get a direct output here. Here you will get the direct output like I have written this data into PDF like here, temporary PDF document. You can write this into RTF document. This is a temporary RTF document. This is RTF format. And if you want to write to Word, you can write to a Word document. This is the Word, Microsoft 365 Word. Then if you can use it, you can write it to Excel also. You have written to Excel. Okay. PNG. So if you want to create a picture like PNG picture, you can create a photo like this. Okay. Next, after PNG PowerPoint presentation, we can create a PowerPoint PP, PowerPoint like this, PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So these are all we can do with the Alteryx render tool, and we can customize it with the sheet names also. Here I just created a sheet name and I used layout. In the layout, I selected layout mode. In the layout mode, I selected each group of records. If I select this, you will see you will be able to select this option here, section name. In the section name, I selected a particular sheet name, then followed by a render tool. Then I'll be able to create a file using the sheet name. Got it?